Hey, YouTube! Robinson DUP. Hope everybody's having a good day today. I'm actually headed to the gym as usual on my Saturday, but today is another max test. So, that means deadlift, bench, and squat as heavy as I can go. Now, I've actually been getting a couple questions, from some viewers, and I figured I'd answer some questions. Everybody keeps asking me why it looks like I'm almost max testing every week. I'm not, actually. This is actually about 6 weeks later that I'm doing a max test, which is usually a week after I would usually do one. So, let me explain. With my daily undulating periodization, I have a 4-week block that I go through. At the end of that 4-week block, or that periodized workout has ended, I do what they call a taper week. And that is to let my body super compensate for the overreaching I did, especially in like the last week and a half of my workout, because my body's very, very beat up. So by giving it a little bit of rest, it allows the muscles to recover and repair and become bigger. But I've been doing DUP now for about 7 months, and after my last block, the one previous to this one, I was very, very beat up, and I knew it. And my coach suggested that I do a 2-week taper, and I argued with him because I hate being out of the gym that long and not feeling like I'm constantly working out. And I argued and he finally, said, "Fine, if you feel like you can go, let's do your next set." So that's what I did. About a week and a half into that next workout, I was really, really beat up, and I was beat up bad. My knees hurt, my hips hurt, my right shoulder was starting to get really messed up. And I told my coach, and he's like, "Well, that's why I had suggested that you do the 2-week taper, but I'm a stubborn mule." I said, "Okay, well, let's make it through this one. I'll do the best I can with it. If I have to bring the weights down a little bit or improvise, I will, just to avoid injury." And I made it through that workout. So I listened this time and took the 2-week taper. Now, as a bodybuilder or as anybody who's competitive or into a sport, you will face injuries. And a couple years back, what happened to me, actually I don't really know what happened to me, but I'll explain the story. I was lifting one day with my coach, woke up and I had no pain after the workout. I woke up the next morning and I couldn't pick up my right arm. And not only could I not pick it up, I could maybe get it, I really could barely move it. I couldn't get it level to my side at all. And I thought, maybe something's inflamed, I pulled something, lifted something the wrong way, whatever the case may be. So 1 week went by, 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks went by, 4 weeks went by, nothing was really getting better. And eventually, after 2 months, and not really lifting because everything I did aggravated it, one day I woke up and it didn't hurt anymore. I don't like doctors. I don't like going for tests. I'm not saying it was the smartest idea in the world, and there's probably something still wrong with my shoulder, but I wasn't going to go get it investigated unless I couldn't pick up my arm, period, and couldn't use it. So, excuse me, somebody just slapped on their brakes for no reason. I've always have to be careful with this right shoulder because every now and again, like it's doing currently, it'll get inflamed and hurt. And what I notice is sometimes when I'm benching, if I'm not perfectly careful with my form, I almost feel like my shoulder tries to drift or move. So I have to be very, very careful. Now, guys, I know we all think we're tough and we're invincible, but injuries start to add up. And if you're not careful, you end up doing severe damage where you will need surgery. So that's why this time, after my 2-week taper, my last block, I decided to do the 2-week taper. My shoulder needed to heal. It's actually starting to feel a lot better. It doesn't hurt as much as it did. Still a little uncomfortable, but nowhere near as bad as it was. My knees feel better, my hips feel better, my lower back doesn't feel as compressed. So I know we don't like rest days, I know we don't like taking time off, but I had to do it. It was the smart and the right thing to do. Now, it didn't mean I didn't lift at all for 2 weeks. I actually lifted, but I was only lifting one day I was lifting at 60% for only maybe 3 sets of 3 reps of the max weights that I could do. And another day, I was doing like 3 sets of 1 of like 80-something%. So that way I'm still using my muscles, they're still getting activated, they're not going to waste, but I'm not doing the amount of volume that I would usually do. So key lesson is, pay attention to your body, give yourself time to heal, because if you don't, you're going to end up like an old mess that can't use anything and probably just have to have surgery after surgery. Alright guys, talk to you soon.
Greg Robinson is going to his maxes today after a really hard training session, training block, where he went for basically 5 weeks squatting 3 to 4 times a week. And he had a 2-week taper. Yeah. It's a side spot, just for the heck of it. You know a chair I do sitting like to me that you were rapping. The tight makes, yeah. Come on, Greg. You got it. Come on. Get in your head. Michael. Is he still doing it? Nah. Frank, you got this side? Yeah, go to the edge. You guys, yeah, I'll try. Oh, I don't think depth is going to be a problem. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Greg. She's ready. One. She'll probably do like 20 reps. Hope you don't walk yourself in there. Head up, chest out. Come on.
Good.
Head up, chest out.
Elbows down. Deep breath. Go. Come on. Up, up, up. Drive. Ah! Yeah. Nice.
What's up, YouTube land? Today was a max day. Yes, I'm still actually, it's the same day. I just had a shirt underneath my shirt. Didn't do too bad, didn't do too great. I'm happy with my squat. I got a 455 squat, which is 20 pounds heavier than I did the last time. Failed on the first attempt because I didn't open up my hips enough, ended up leaning forward, so I kind of had to bail on the weight. Second time, got it full through, no problem. Bench, still having issues with that shoulder. Went up to 355, and I was going to try for a 385, but 355, just my shoulder did not feel right, and instead of being stupid and going for it anyway, I just called it quits there. You know, my bench is high enough at this point that I'm not really concerned about getting tremendous gains in the actual bench itself. I'm looking more for overall chest development. So yeah, you always like to progress, but at the same time, you know, with the issue with my shoulder, I want to be smart, not get myself hurt, end up getting surgery, and then, you know, there I'll go 5-6 months of my off season. I don't want to ruin any gains I've already had, so just, you know, using my brain and lay it off. I went for deadlift. I, you know, warmed up a couple sets, did like a 405, 455, 495. Ended up going for a 535. But I was so exhausted and my lower back is just roasted at that point. I pulled it, got it to about my knees, and you know, my lower back was just too tired and I couldn't get my hips underneath the bar. So I just let it go. I thought about giving it one more shot, but you know what? I know I can get that weight. It's a matter of me coming in fresh, which I wasn't at that point. Had I done it fresh, I know I would have pulled a 535. So nonetheless, my deadlift has gone up. I know it's gone up. It's just I didn't have enough gas in the tank to pull it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy me torturing myself for your entertainment, and I'll talk to you soon.